This is the second part of the anime. Yuki feels like she's had enough of love now. The whole reality show thing got her all worked up because now people are swarming around her, and it's just not her jam. She's talking about how having a bunch of people gawking at you isn't all fun and games. On top of that, she's not used to folks throwing shade her way. But then, Nobuyuki. He's all like, "Hold up, Yuki. I'm here for you, like, all the time. I'm your complaint listener, your sidekick, your whatever you need, pal." He's trying to talk her out of quitting the reality show. Tango and Akane, they're like in the background, throwing in their 2 cents. They're all, "Yuki, for real? You're really gonna bounce from love now." They can't believe it. Meanwhile, viewers were sitting here like, what's Yuki gonna do? Is she gonna drop the show? Because we kind of think she's kind of sensitive and might actually do it. But it's all just a show. She's actually pumped because she's thinking, I'm boosting the viewer numbers big time. She got people buzzing because there's this article going viral about her wanting to quit. And she's loving it because she believes she's the reason more peeps are tuning in. Aqua and the gang wrapped up filming, and then they all chowed down together to celebrate their awesome show that's been getting killer ratings since day one. So during lunch, Aqua's like, "Hey Akane, how about you take a chill pill for a bit?" But Akane's all focused, jotting stuff down in her notebook, probably to rock it on the show. She's got her game face on. When Aqua gets back home, Ruby's not too happy. She's giving him the cold shoulder, because she's jelly that he was out hanging with pals instead of having lunch together on their day off. And she's got a bone to pick about him always filming on the weekends. Aqua tells Ruby to pause for a moment and explains that they're still focusing on their studies because they're all just high school students, but Aqua's got more to say. He's schooling Ruby about reality dating shows. He's all, look, they're not all fake and scripted. People just try to look good, like normal. He's telling her that the cameras roll to show who they really are, and then they jazz things up a bit to keep folks hooked. Basically, he's saying they're keeping it real, but also spicing up a tad because that's what the viewers want to see. But even though Aqua's dishing out the truth, he's got some nerves. He's thinking lying might be his shield of choice. The following days, Yuki and Nobuyuki are like 2 peas in a pod. They're getting chummy, and the folks watching the show are all like, hey, they should totally date for real. They're shipping them hard. But Keimo's feeling some type of way about Yuki and Nobuyuki getting cozy. The show's starting to blow up big time with teens. And it's all thanks to Yuki. She's bringing the heat with her flirty vibes, and the viewers are eating it up. Meanwhile, Aqua's just playing it cool. He's not diving into the love chaos, deciding it's safer to wait until the show's over. But then Memcho, she's got opinions. She's thinking Aqua's not aiming high enough, but at the same time, she gets it. She's all about playing her role as the fun, easygoing girl. Memcho's in this for her YouTube channel. She's trying to reel in more viewers. She lets Aqua in on a secret worry she's got about Akane, though. Akane's struggling a bit to shine on the show because she's a theater actress and her skills aren't quite translating. Akane just wrapped up some training and is getting ready to meet her manager. But things take a twist. Akane catches her manager getting a tongue lashing from the big boss at their agency. Because Akane hasn't been making waves on Love Now, even though that's the hottest reality show for teens right now. While her manager is trying to defend the situation, he's saying something like, hey, Akane gave her best on the show. But the boss isn't convinced. He's pointing out that trying hard without making money isn't cutting it. So Akane steps in and says sorry to her manager. She's promising to up her game, leave a mark on the audience. The next day, Ruby's got some beef with the juice she got from the convenience store. She's thinking about blasting her complaints on social media. However, Kana steps in and comes to the rescue. She's all, wait a minute, Ruby. Then she spills the beans that if Ruby starts dissing a product online, the people connected to it could spot the post and decide to give Ruby the boot as a possible brand ambassador. After Ruby gets the scoop from Kana, she's kinda dismissive, like, calm down, Kana. But then Kana fires back with her own comeback. She's explaining to Ruby that since she's not a celebrity type, she might not be familiar with ego surfing. In simpler terms, Kana's saying Ruby might not realize why paying attention to online comments is so important. Kana's breaking it down for Ruby. She's sharing, look, around 90% of idols and famous peeps stay updated on what people are saying about them online. She's going on to explain that thanks to the internet, they can easily check out reviews and see how people are feeling about their work, all without needing a full-blown advertising crew. That's why they can't ignore what folks are saying online. It's like crazy important for their popularity game. On a different note, Akane's in a whole other vibe. She's reading every single comment from the Love Now viewers. Most are giving props to Yuki and teasing Akane because she was only on screen for like 10 minutes. Seeing all that, Akane gets this new fire in her. She's thinking, alright, time to step up a notch. She's aiming for Yuki-level fame and is dead set on leaving a lasting impression on the audience like majorly wowing them. The following day, Akane's got a task ahead of her. She's been told by the director to play the role of a bad girl who's out to snatch Nobuyuki from Yuki. The plan is to make Nobuyuki fall for her and dump Yuki. The director's convinced that this move will really make her character pop on screen. So Akane puts on her acting hat and she not only gets Nobuyuki's attention, she even gets the internet buzzing about her. Akane's the talk of the town, but Yuki's got something to say. She's telling Akane, "I'm not letting you steal my spotlight and all those eyes on me. I'm set on being the star." And then the sparks fly. Yuki's playing it sly, trying to steal attention from the guys around them. Meanwhile, Akane's showing some serious determination, refusing to step back. Akane decides to confront Yuki directly, and she accidentally ends up scratching Yuki's face with her nail. After the incident, Akane's all blaming herself. But Yuki, being the cool cat she is, gives her a hug and says she's all good. But even though Yuki doesn't make it a big deal, the camera's caught Akane's move and it's gone viral. Akane's become the target of some serious online hate. People are straight up demanding that she gets kicked off the dating show. Akane's got a soft spot for what people say. She takes to her social media to apologize, hoping to smooth things over. But it makes things worse. People online start bullying her even more because they figure if she's saying sorry, she must have messed up big time. All the nasty comments and criticism make Akane feeling really low, to the point where she's even considering doing something that could mess up her life. Not only on online, Akane's hearing mean stuff about her at school too. And to top it off, she doesn't even have buddies there, which totally brings her mood down. And she's keeping all this mess a secret from her mom because she doesn't want her mom stressed, especially since some folks are nasty to her mom online. After that, her manager gives her a heads up over the phone, advising her not to share anything on social media. Her manager's warning that it could just make the situation even more complicated. Back in the day, little Akane is all pumped to be an actress. She's diving into acting classes, working her tail off to be a pro. But some kids at the acting school are jelly of her mad skills. They're talking trash online, saying she's just faking being nice and making up stories about her partying hard and hanging with dudes. But Akane's actually super dedicated to her acting gig. She's all in. Akane always working hard on her acting game and hitting the books for good grades. But all that online bullying has been getting to her, and she's feeling super down. She's thinking of doing something that could seriously mess up her life. On the flip side, Memcho and the gang are pretty concerned about Akane. They're trying to reach out, see how she's holding up, and they've caught on to the online bullying situation. They're all about lending a hand. Memcho shoots Akane a message checking in on her. And Akane like, "I'm cool, just grabbing some food." But Akane heads to a bridge with the idea of jumping off. But Aqua swoops in at just the right moment. He grabs Akane in a big hug, calming her down. He lets her know that Memcho and the crew were so worried that they went on a mission to find her. Aqua's strolling to the convenience store when he spots Akane at the bridge's edge looking like she's about to take a dive. Seeing Akane on the edge of the bridge, Aqua springs into action. He's not having any of it. He rushes to the rescue. Now on the other side of town, Kan is giving Ruby and Miyako the scoop about Akane's mess. Just then, Miyako's phone buzzes with a call from the police station. She's got to go check it out. After she hangs up, she tells Kana and Ruby that Aqua's at the station, caught up in something. They're all wide-eyed, thinking Aqua's in a jam. So, they all end up at the police station. Akane comes clean to her mom about the bullying she's been facing and why she kept it all hush-hush. Over on the side, Miyako's letting out a sigh of relief because Aqua's not in trouble. She gives Aqua some major props for secretly caring about others, even though the act's all aloof. Aqua's trying to brush it off, but Miyako's convinced he's got a good heart. Yuki shows up at the police station and she gives Akane a big slap, because Akane had them all freaked out. But then Yuki's all about the hugs. She wraps Akane in a tight embrace and gets all teary-eyed because she's just relieved Akane's safe and sound. Aqua's got a question for Akane. What's her game plan now? Cause with this whole incident, Akane could totally decide to ditch the reality dating show. Even though they're under a contract to stick it out till the end, Akane's case could be a special one, because they weren't properly keeping tabs on the younger cast members. Despite the roller coaster of bullying and feeling down, Akane's not throwing in the towel. She's in it to win it. Yuki and the gang are cheering her on big time. But Aqua's got his reservations. He's thinking if they don't handle it right, it could backfire. Especially since the show's director and crew are intentionally making Akane look like the villain in the editing room. Aqua cooks up his plan to put a stop to Akane's online bullying by letting the cat out of the bag about Akane's tough moment, hoping it'll make folks cut it out. But Miyako's not so sold on the plan. She thinks Aqua might actually make things worse, especially since Akane's still gotta bounce back from that bridge incident. But Aqua's got his stance. No way, we gotta do this to give Akane a hand in the long run. So he's standing firm on his decision. The next day, Aqua's got a mission. He ropes Memcho into the mix, asking for some candid pics and vids of the cast outside of filming. He intended to make a video that'll boost Akane's rep. When Memcho hears the idea, she's all in. She's gonna drop the video at just the right time to make it blow up. And Ken goes on board too, offering to whip up some awesome music for the video. On the other hand, Yuki's got a juicy tidbit to spill. She spittles the beans about the director having a video of her hugging Akane after the whole bridge ordeal. But the director's been hiding it, all sneaky-like, because they were cooking up some plan to make Akane look like the villain in Yuki and Nobuyuki's love story. Now Aqua's not having any of this nonsense. He marches up to the director and has a heart-to-heart. And the director spills the tea. Turns out they're just following orders from the bigwigs to jazz up the show with some fake scenes. But Aqua's not falling for it. He's got a bone to pick. Hey, we might be pros, but Akane is only 17. She's a teenager and you guys should be looking after her, not playing games. In the following days, Aqua and the crew teamed up to craft that video. And the director played ball too. They dug out the footage of Yuki hugging Akane right after that nail-scratching incident. Once they uploaded the video online, it caught fire and opinions about Akane started to shift. Slowly but surely, folks realized that the Love Now gang were tight on and off the camera. But Aqua's still got his doubts. He's thinking this thing might never fully blow over. He figures one day they'll dig it up again. Still, he's feeling a weight off his shoulders. Akane's back in the game, her confidence returning, and they've all got her back. While they're filming, Memphis drops a genius idea. Akane should create a whole new persona to leave a mark on the audience. Aqua's all ears because he's on the same page. He explains that having a persona isn't just for reality TV, it's a legit skill for life. It's all about how you put yourself out there in the world. Akane's a bit lost about what persona to rock, so Memcho turns to Aqua for answers. Akane learns that Aqua's celebrity crush is Ai Hoshino. That's all the inspiration Akane needs to go Ai style. Aqua's cool with it, though he's got a hunch that no one can truly be like Ai because she's a one-of-a-kind superstar. Even so, Akane's on a mission. She's set on creating a persona just like Aqua's dream girl because she's got a major debt to repay after he saved her from that bridge. So she's on a quest to be Aqua-approved superstar. Akane starts digging deep into Ai's world. She's all about the data, and Ai's got eyes that could light up a room and a personality that's like a puzzle waiting to be solved. Akane's like a detective, piecing it all together with her data skills. She's even unearthing stuff that only Ai's inner circle knows. Meanwhile, Kana's breathing a sigh of relief. Akane's bounced back, which is a big load off Kana's mind. But Kana's got some rivalry feelings too, because they're both actresses after all. Kana spittles the beans to Aqua about Akane's theater background. Turns out, she's a theater whiz known far and wide as a genius actress at the Lalai Theater, where Akane's their star player. But reality shows might not be her sweet spot. She's not just some actress, she's a bona fide talent. Next day, when Akane steps onto set with her new Ai-inspired vibe, jaws drop left and right. Even Aqua's floored by her transformation. She's got that Ai vibe going on. The whole cast and crew can't help but be drawn to her charisma and that mysterious spark that's usually only seen in Ai herself. Memko's realized that Akane's dazzling transformation isn't just turning heads, it's making Aqua all shy and awkward. Memcho and Yuki are all over it. They're plotting to make a love connection between Aqua and Akane, even after the show's wrapped up. But Kana's not thrilled about the whole matchmaking thing. She's rolling her eyes because she's getting the vibe that everyone's shipping Aqua and Akane. But Ruby's got something to say. She's spilling that Akane's channeling some serious Ai Hoshino vibes like she's watching her own mom again. Now fast forward to the school run. Kana's eavesdropping on some chatty students who are all in on the Aqua and Akane gossip. They're teaming them up like there's no tomorrow, hoping for a grand finale kiss, just like in the movies. And then, out of nowhere, Aqua shows up and drops a bomb. He wants Kana to ditch school and hang out. Kana's mind's running wild. She's thinking Aqua's got the hots for her. But Aqua clears things up, saying Kana's his trusted friend, someone he can talk to. Aqua lets Kana in on a secret. He's tight with the Love No crew, but it's strictly business. Kana's curious about Aqua and Akane's on-set dynamic, and Aqua's all like, nah, we're just colleagues. But he doesn't deny being into older girls. Kana's got a grin a mile wide. She's older than him. But then reality hits her like a brick. Akane's older too. On the other hand, Aqua's master plan with Kana was to prove to himself that he's not head over heels for Akane. He was having some mixed feelings when he saw her turn into Ai Hoshino. Aqua's attitude towards love? Well, it's more like, nah, not my cup of tea. The only person who's managed to turn his world upside down is Ai Hoshino. So on set, Aqua decides to be all detective-like and asks Akane how she's nailing the Ai role so flawlessly. Akane spills the beans. She's been reading up on psychological profiling, diving into research, and basically becoming an Ai expert. She can conjure up a wild backstory for Ai, including a secret kid and all that jazz. Akane's practically getting into Ai's head like it's a puzzle she's solving. Aqua is shocked to find out that Akane's cracked the code on Ai's mind, even unearthing stuff only Ichigo and Miyako knew. Aqua's pretty amazed, thinking, wait a minute, how far does this go? Akane's no joke. She can practically predict every detail about Ai, from her life to the kind of guy she's into. Aqua's mind is totally blown, and Aqua's got a plan brewing. He's thinking, why not date Akane? He's hoping to keep their connection strong once the reality show's a wrap. But hey, don't forget about the Love Now finale. It's got drama written all over it. Nobuyuki's confessing his love to Yuki with flowers in hand. But Yuki's turning him down. Memko's not playing around either. She's rejecting Kengo, even though he's serenading her with a love song. In a shocking turn of events, Aqua spilled the beans about his feelings for Akane on camera, sealing with a kiss. The last episode of Love Now turned into a roller coaster ride, and everyone couldn't believe their eyes. Meanwhile, Kana, who was sneakily watching on her phone, wasn't too thrilled. Turns out she had a little crush on Aqua herself. Right after, Akane let the cat out of the bag that she did accept Aqua's confession on camera, but she's not sure where their story will lead. On the flip side, Yuki spilled the tea on why she turned down Nobuyuki. Her career as a model was her main squeeze, and she was fresh out of romantic experience, making her feel like a deer caught in headlights when he confessed. The director chimed in with advice telling them not to rush into decisions and to consider the unpredictable nature of their entertainment careers. Meanwhile, Aqua had a serious chat with Kaburagi about a video he made to boost Akane's image. The bigwigs upstairs weren't vibing with it, but Aqua played his cards right by pointing out he followed the rules and posted it on Love Now's official account. Kaburagi was all about his clever moves and promised to spill more about Ai as part of their deal. Shortly after that, Akane had a heart-to-heart with Aqua. She read between the lines and could tell he wasn't feeling the romantic vibes for real. Aqua came clean. His heart belonged to Akane's acting chops more than anything else. Still, he was all about keeping the work relationship alive, even if it was just business. Akane was totally cool with Aqua seeing her as a genius actress, and it made her day. But Yuki and Nobuyuki decided to take their romance off-screen and start dating for real. Akane was all smiles about it and hoped their love would stand the test of time. On their way home, Memcho spilled the beans to Aqua about her childhood dream of being an idol. Life didn't exactly follow the script she planned, and she shifted gears to become a content creator instead. Aqua offered her a spot in his agency, Strawberry Productions. He had this wild idea of forming a new idol group called B Komachi, and Memcho was on his radar. She was intrigued but needed some time to weigh the pros and cons. Time passed, and Memcho finally decided to take Aqua's offer and join Strawberry Productions. The good news was that her previous contract didn't pose any issues, since she was more like a business partner with her former agency. But Aqua and Miyako nearly choked on their drinks when they found out Memcho had actually fibbed about her age. She made herself 7 years younger for her content creator gig. Turns out she's got a single mom and 2 younger brothers, and even though she buried her idol dream, her mom urged her to chase it. She hustled hard, made it far on auditions, but her mom fell ill from working too much to support the family, so Memcho had to step up and juggle part-time gigs to keep the ship afloat. Thanks to her hard work, she managed to gather up enough cash to cover her mom's doctor bills and send her brothers off to school. But she suddenly realized she's already hit the big old age of 23. Right when she's all set to chase her dreams, she finds out those big shot agencies are only snatching up girls under 20. So she decides to shake things up. She's got to be a content creator and just fudge her age a bit to reel in more subscribers. She thinks that if her true age comes out like an unexpected surprise when she's trying to be an idol, it could be a real can of worms. She understands if Miyako, her pal, decides not to bring her on board. But along comes Ruby, like a star from the sky, telling her not to squid it. Age is just a number, and everyone's got a shot at their dreams. Then zoom in Kana. She rolls in and spills the tea that even she caught heat for her age back when she was a mini actor. So she totally gets Memko's situation, and they're bonding over the whole age-related struggle. So Kana and Ruby team up and nudge Miyako in the direction of recruiting Memcho for B Komachi. And you won't believe it. Miyako's completely on board because she had her eyes on Memko right from the beginning. Meanwhile, Aqua breathes a sigh of relief, knowing that Ruby and Kana are totally fine with Memcho. He's hoping for things to go smoothly. He turns to Kana and suggests that she take on the big sister role, looking out for Ruby and Memcho, given her experience in showbiz. However, Kana continues to shoot Aqua skeptical glances, probably due to his affectionate scene with Akane. Nevertheless, she says, "Okay, I'll be the guardian even if you didn't actually ask me." The next day comes around and Minami brings up the topic to Ruby, asking her how she felt about seeing her brother kissing on TV. Ruby's response is a frustrated one, admitting that the kiss scene bothered her without giving a direct reason. And then Frill pops up and spills the beans that she's into love now too. Turns out she's tight with one of the cast members. Frill's got a soft spot for Memcho, thinking her quirks are just adorable. Frill expresses her opinion, suggesting that the guys in love now should have put in more effort for Memcho. However, Minami has a different perspective, explaining that it's a common thing in the celebrity world for guys to feel jealous of cute, unique girls like Memcho. Ruby spills that Aqua's become this big shot at school because of his reality dating show gig. Frill acknowledges this with a nod, indicating that she understands. While Ruby and Kana might not be the biggest fans of Aqua, they do recognize that his popularity is positively influencing their debut as a new idol group. Cut to a bit later, Ruby and the gang are chucking videos up on YouTube like there's no tomorrow. After a while, they hit 10,000 subscribers. Memcho suggests that they display their dancing skills, and as a result, they intensify their practice sessions by rehearsing the choreography of their own songs from the past. However, Kana begins to struggle because dancing like an idol isn't something she's accustomed to. Aqua jumps in out of nowhere, handing Kana a water bottle. He comments that Kana is really giving it her all and praises her. However, due to Kana's lingering annoyance about the kiss incident, she rejects Aqua's friendly gesture and asks him to leave. Aqua's a bit puzzled by Kana's changing moods and questions the shift. He then admits that if Kana continues to treat him coldly, it's going to affect him emotionally. So Kana's feeling a bit puzzled, trying to decode why Aqua suddenly threw that important person comment her way. She's mulling over it, wondering if Aqua might be hinting that she's got some special place in his life. Kana's tempted to ring up Aqua and get the scoop, but Aqua's pulled a vanishing act, nowhere to be seen. Later, under the stars, Aqua's hanging with Kaburagi, digging for dirt on Ai's past. Kaburagi's picking up on the fact that Aqua's totally crushing on Ai, and he drops a hint that digging into her past might lead to some Ai bashing. But Aqua's shrugging it off, saying, "Nah, I'm not worried about that. I'm just all in to learn every bit about Ai Hoshino." Ai used to be average small-town girl when she crossed paths with Kaburagi. He pitched her the model gig and Ai was like, sure, whatever. But she wasn't exactly jazzed about it. Not a fan of the work vibe, she didn't put much effort in and her pro game was kinda non-existent. Fashion-wise, Ai wasn't rocking the fancy stuff. She'd throw on cheap clothes, no matching game whatsoever. Kaburagi steps in with a game plan. He's all, wait a sec, you need some acting chops, and slides Ai right into Lalolai Theater, the gang where Akane hangs out. Ai bumps into this enigmatic dude at the theater, lovey-dovey vibes spark, and suddenly she's all about sprucing up her appearance. Kaburagi lets Aqua in on the scoop that Ai grew up big time in Lalolai Theater. She started asking about good date spots and was acting all grown up. But no one knows who this guy is, not even Kaburagi, and he's got the keys to the Ai vault. He offers to hook Aqua up with Lalolai's leader to dive deeper into Ai's theater days. Aqua's left in a state of shock, and he wonders aloud to Kaburagi, "Hey, why the sudden support? I mean, I'm just a washed-up actor with no success to show." Kaburagi responds with a clever retort explaining, "Aqua, you got the acting chops and the potential. I'm just paving the way for you now. When you get the big leaves, you can return the favor. It's a mutual thing, buddy." And Kaburagi's been keeping tabs on Kana and Memcho too, seeing Strawberry Productions is aiming to revive the B Komachi idol group, and they've roped in Kana and Memcho to join. The next day rolls around and Memcho spills the beans to Kana and Ruby that Kaburagi slid into her DMs. He's offering them a shot at the Japan Idol Festival happening next month. Kana's all hesitant, thinking they're not quite ready for the big leagues, especially since they're a fresh idol group with no official debut yet. But Memcho and Ruby are having none of that hesitation. They're all gung-ho about seizing this golden opportunity to rock a huge stage in front of a massive crowd. Time for a good old group chat. They're hashing out who's going to snag that center spot, the one who's going to be the star of the show. Ruby's strutting her stuff, saying she should be center because she's got the dance moves on lockdown. But Memcho's got her own claim. She suggests, hey, I should take the center spot since I'm the oldest and have more experience. Ruby ain't about to back down. She throws the curveball that Kana should take the lead because she's been around the entertainment block. Kana's even released a hit track called Green Pepper Exercise that climbed the charts and made the rounds on music shows. Despite that, Kana's waving off the center role, admitting, "Nah, I won't take the lead. My singing isn't top-tier stuff." So Mencho throws down the gauntlet. She challenges Ruby and Kana to a karaoke showdown. The deal is, whoever rocks the highest score gets to be the center of attention in the group. But Kana's not having it. She's standing firm, saying she doesn't want that spotlight. She's convinced that their group won't hit the big time if she's the face. Kana spills the beans that when her child's star days faded, she tried her hand at different stuff, but it all flopped big time. She ended up being a loss for her agency. She tells Ruby and Memcho to sort it out between themselves for the group's front person, because they got a better rep and image, especially since Aqua seems to dig the genuine sweet type, though Kana keeps that last bit under wraps. Ruby's pretty perceptive though. She picks up on Kana's gloomy vibe and asks, "You got something bothering you?" But Kana's swift to deflect, keeping quiet about it because, truth be told, she's miffed at Aqua for that kissing scene with Akane. Later that night, Ruby and Memcho hit the karaoke scene. They give it their all, but their score's not exactly superstar material. Both are under 50 points. They realize they're not exactly singing prodigies. It hits them. Singing's a major deal for idols, and they need to up their game. While picking their next tune, they stumble onto Kana's songs. They give one a shot, Full Moon, and they're in for a surprise. Kana's got this smooth, melodic voice that's nothing like what she's been saying about her singing skills. Kana's also at the karaoke spot, and she crushes it with a hopping 97 points. That's a clear sign her singing skills are on a whole different level. The next day rolls in, and Ruby and Memcho are on a mission. They're trying to convince Kana to step into the center spotlight. They're giving Kana the full court press, saying, "Simon Kana, your singing game is off the charts. We're totally blown away by those tracks you released as a teen." Kana's not easily swayed though. She's sticking to her guns, saying that being the front would probably be bad news for the group. But after a bit of prodding and the girls' support, Kana gives in and agrees to take that center spot. They roll up their sleeves and dive into some hardcore practice. And they've got a coach named Pieyon who's giving them dance training and boosting their stamina, so they can rock it on stage. After the practice sesh, Pieyon gets all deep with Kana. Pieyon throws a curveball, asking, "Do you ever second-guess this whole idol thing?" Kana spee with her response, saying, "Nah, no regrets whatsoever." Still, she's got this nagging thought that she's not cut out for that center role. Pieyon's not having any of that negativity. He's all about singing Kana's praises. Turns out, she's a real trooper, hitting those vocal drills every single morning. Kana's got a thing against green peppers. Kana's jaw drops. Pieyon knows these little quirks about her that even most folks aren't privy to. So she's all curious, wondering, "Hang on, are you actually a fan of mine?" Kana, who's been wearing a gloomy expression, suddenly beams like a lit-up Christmas tree as Pieyon confirms he's indeed a fan. They get into this awesome chat, and Kana's all surprised by how kind and attentive Pieyon is. She even starts thinking, maybe I'll forget about Aqua and fall for Pieyon. Meanwhile, Memcho and Ruby are thrilled that Pieyon's putting in the effort to train them every day. Memcho points out that Pieyon's got a similar build to Aqua, and Ruby cracks up the idea of Aqua wearing Pieyon's mask and quacking like a duck. The next day rolls in, and after their practice, Pieyon hands Kana a water bottle, and Kana's quick to react, saying, "Dang, Pieyon, you're all about the thoughtfulness. Unlike Aqua, who's just like men most of the time." Even though Kana often rants about Aqua, Memcho assumes they're tight buddies. After all, they've known each other since their child actor days. But the super attentive Pieyon is actually Aqua in disguise. He's gone all sneaky using Pieyon's look, while the real Pieyon's off on vacation. Appo goes ahead and spills the secret that he was keeping tabs on their hardcore training through the videos he sent, and Pieyon's response is pure excitement. "You folks are nailing it. Japan Idol Festival, get ready to be rocked." Pieyon's curiosity kicks in and he's like, "What's the deal with the disguise, Aqua?" Appo's got a slick response ready. He's like, "Kana's all ears when you're in charge." Thought I'd give Pieyon a shot and grab some extra focus. But Pieyon's not exactly buying it. He's like, "I'm pretty sure Kana would listen to you just as well." And he tosses in a compliment about Aqua's acting chops because no one saw through the whole Pieyon act. As the night settles in, Kana tells Ruby to hit the hay because they're performing at the Japan Idol Festival tomorrow. But Ruby's bouncing off the walls, too hyped to sleep. She spills the beans that being an idol has been her dream since she was a little. And then she reminisces about her past life when she was dealing with health issues. Back then, her dreams of being an idol were on hold because she couldn't do much physical stuff. It was all indoor vibes for her. However, after she became IE's fan, it totally lifted her spirits. Despite the doc dropping the whole "not much time left" bomb, it didn't dampen her spirits one bit. So Ruby spills the beans to Kana about how she ran into her crush, Goru, the doctor who looked after her back in the hospital days. Goro had once promised Ruby that if she ever became an idol, he'd be her #1 fan. Now Ruby's all in her feels thinking about Goro and all the awesome memories they had. She falls asleep dreaming about him and his encouragements. Kana, being the good pal she is, gives Ruby a comforting pat and feels relieved that Ruby's got someone in her corner. Kana herself hadn't really experienced that kind of support, so she leaves the room and heads for the kitchen. She found that Pieyon takes off his mask and it's Aqua underneath. After this mind-blowing reveal, Kana's tossing and turning all night. The next day, she's all gloomy and down in the dumps. Fast forward to their big performance day. Kana's aiming to get some sleep in the dressing room. But they got to share the space with these newbies from underground agencies. These guys haven't even debuted officially yet. Miyako notices that Kana's not exactly in her prime mood and checks in on her. Kana gives off a casual vibe, shaking her head and lets Miyako know not to worry. She reminds her that they got the senior pro status in this showbiz playground. But Kana's got her own struggle bus to ride. She can't help but remember her teenage years when the fame train took a nosedive. She'd been a child actor and all, but once she hit her teens, her agency waved goodbye. Turns out she wasn't making them bank anymore. Not only that, her mom's like, with a wave and I'm off to take care of grandpa, Kana finds herself flying solo at home. So there she is trying to hustle in the entertainment scene, taking up roles in those web dramas and indie films just to make those bills behave. But Kana's been through the ringer. She's had her share of flops and stumbles back when she was a teen actor, so starting anew as an idol isn't exactly a walk in the park for her. But she's not sweating it for herself. It's Ruby and Memcho she's got on her mind. She's got their backs and doesn't want their dreams of idol stardom to bite the dust. Ruby, being the level-headed bud she is, puts Kana's nerves in a headlock. She's got this relaxed vibe going, saying, "Take it easy, Kana. We're newbies in this idol adventure together. No need to stress. We're in this together. Got it?" And that pep talk does wonders for Kana. Suddenly, she's all about rocking that debut concert at the Japan Idol Festival. On the other hand, another idol in the house, Mana. She just wrapped up her gig with her squad and decides to scope out another group's performance, because she's got her eye on this adorable newbie idol she met backstage. Meanwhile, there's this gang of folks who set their sights on Memcho, the new hotshot in Idol Town. In the mix is Ken, and he's all, "Wait a sec, be komachi." I used to be a big fan of Ai Hoshino, the group's leader. Back on the stage, Kana breathes a sigh of relief. The crowd turns out to be larger than she thought, and that's definitely a weight off her shoulders. Sure, most peeps are waving those Memcho yellow light sticks, but there's a sprinkle of Ruby's red sticks too. And Kana keeping it cool. Even if there isn't a single white light stick for her, she's ready to rock and roll. They're up on stage belting out their song. Kana's like, "Woo, mirrors ain't got me," but there's a sprinkle of doubt in the mix. Most of the crowd is super into Memcho, so Kana's thinking maybe Memcho should be the main attraction. Ken, who was initially bummed that the newbie Komachi wasn't quite like the old gang from Ai's era, gets hit with a plot twist. Ruby steps in with her Ai-like charm and it's like magic. The whole crowd's in awe of Ruby's stage. Even Kana, checking things out from the sidelines, thinks, "Wow, Ruby's a natural at this." Ruby's got that magic touch, captivating the crowd and scoring fans like a total pro. But Kana's got some mixed feelings. Sure, she's stoked that their debut performance is a hit, but there's a twinge of envy. Ruby and Memcho are raking in fans left and right, and there's Kana, feeling like the has-been child actor who lost her glitter. And the sadness starts to settle in. Kana's feeling like she's no longer anyone's VIP, especially after her mom and manager bailed. Recent years have been a fame nosedive for her, and it's like she's fading into the background, despite all her hustle. But Aqua shows up. He's waving those light sticks and busting out some moves that the crowd goes wild for. Meanwhile, Ken's plotting. He's thinking the newbie Komachi's got all the ingredients for stardom. He's even giving Kana some major props. She's got looks, she's got cuteness, and she can belt out a tune like nobody's business. He's thinking she'd be a killer center of attention. And the gig at the Japan Idol Festival isn't just any show, it's their debut concert. They're making it official as the fresh newbie Komachi crew. On their way home, Kana throws a question at Aqua. "So how did we do on stage?" Aqua's response, "Oh, we totally nailed it." Meanwhile, Miyako's got this sigh of relief going, glad that Kana and Aqua patched things up. She takes her turn and asks Aqua about his thing with Akane. Turns out it's all work-related. They've only crossed paths at the party, nothing more. Kana then takes a fun jab at Aqua, teasing him about Akane not being into him, even how gorgeous she is. And Memcho's got some insight. She notices that Kana lights up when Aqua says he and Akane are just work buddies, but Memcho's in a jam. Kana and Akane are her pals, and she's stuck deciding who to cheer for in the Aqua love game. Next day rolls in and Kana's straight up with Aqua about the whole Pieyon disguise deal. Aqua spills the beans. He did it, cause Kana wouldn't even talk to him. Kana can't believe it, saying, "Hold up, for real? You Mr. Cool Guy who couldn't care less about anyone, did all that just to talk to me?" But Aqua's got his explanation. He was all about making Ruby's concert shine. But Kana's not letting him off the hook that easy. She keeps poking fun at him. Aqua, the woman having it. He explains, giving all the deets to prove that there's no romantic thing going on. But Ruby's grinning ear to ear. Finally, Kana and Aqua are back on good terms. Ruby's happy too, thinking about how Aqua's transformed over the years. He's got this quirky teenage personality going on. But when he's with Kana, Ruby notices that he's back to his old, warm, and caring self. On the other hand, Kabaragi's having a sit-down with Reida Sumiaki, a big shot from Magic Floor, an event management company. So Sumiaki breaks the news. Kabaragi is the lead producer for the 2.5D stage play version of Tokyo Blade, the mega hit manga with a gazillion fans, plus a killer anime and movie. Sumiaki spills the beans that he's teamed up with Lalale Theater and brought on Akane as the lead. But Lalale's kinda short on young talent, so he's got Kabaragi on speed dial for help in the talent hunt. A few days later, Akane is in the rehearsal groove when her manager drops a bomb. She's got a new project and surprise, Aqua's back in the picture. And then Aqua and Akane decide to kick it with a date day and flaunt their adventures on Akane's Insta. So Akane turns to Aqua for the lowdown on Tokyo Blade, seeing as he's part of the cast. She's got her eyes on the role of Sayahime, while Aqua's suiting up as Toki, Sayahime's lover in the original tale. But Toki's not the main event. He's the sidekick with a mate named Tsurugi. And just as they're scratching their heads over at Tsurugi's casting, Kana pops up out of nowhere. With a serious tone, she drops the bomb. "Hey, be careful on social media, you two. Those weird stalkers can be a real hassle." Kana spills the beans that she's playing Tsurugi in Tokyo Blade. Akane and Kana turns out they've been in the entertainment biz since they were tiny tots and are the same age. However, since Kana and Akane are actresses, they're in an all-out rivalry. They're always trying to one-up each other, and they're not shy about throwing shade. So after Kana bounces, Akane spills the beans to Aqua about their history. Turns out, when they were child actors, Kana would snag all the gigs Akane had her eyes on. And Akane even had a jealous streak when Kana's song Green Pepper Exercise topped the charts for ages. Akane gives props to Kana's acting genius, but she's got her mind set on not letting Kana outshine her. And Kana's just as determined to show she's got the goods too. Meanwhile, Sumiaki's got thoughts of his own. He's thinking Kabaragi's playing it sneaky, bringing in both Kana, the former child prodigy, and Akane, the reigning genius actress of Tokyo Blade. But Sumiaki's cool with it. He knows it's going to spice up the whole stage play drama. And the anime wraps up with Akane, Kana, Mencho, and the gang in their everyday groove, while the Tokyo Blade play crew starts their hustle. On a different note, Ruby's off to visit Ai's resting place, and little does she know, a crow's watching her moves. Meanwhile, another crow's got its eye on Aqua, who's chilling at home, promising once again to uncover the truth about their father or whoever's behind Ai Hoshino's demise. And that's a wrap, folks. The end. Now the takeaway from this flick: don't judge a book by its cover, appearances can be deceiving. And don't be shy to dip your toes into new experiences, because sometimes what you didn't want can give you the most valuable life lessons.